Hello, hello. How are you, everyone, guys? Welcome to Kleros Community Call, December 3rd, 2025. How are you, Jean?
Doing great. Glad to come back to the community call.
Yeah, I mean, it's started to get warm, here in Southern Hemisphere, right?
Yes, and we have like lots of updates to give after these last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite intense, I would say. We can, well, tell a bit the audience about what happened during the last week. Well, last week, no, because we didn't have a call, but previous week, as you guys know, was the Devconnect conference in Buenos Aires, a very much expected conference by all of the Argentinian community. As you know, I mean, Argentina is like the world capital of crypto because of a number of situations that happened with the currency, inflation, bad governance, and this made Argentinians become early adopters of crypto, and also be founders of many of the most important projects in the ecosystem, including Kleros, of course. Um, so we, yeah, that sounds great. It's up origins. So this is the website of the. Yeah, I was going to start by this. So my week started on Friday 14. I was invited to like a very nice lunch organized by Crecimiento, where they gave a little present to founders from the early days of the ecosystem. And well, it was Kleros, there. So maybe you can find they gave me like a little like not like a painting, and also they made this very nice do you say installation, okay, whatever, the piece of art with all of the main topics and all of the main milestones of the history of crypto in Argentina, and one of them was, of course, Kleros. And so it was in 2017, and then we have 2023, also the collaboration that we started with the Mendoza Supreme Court. That's impressive, right, Jean?
Yes, it was very interesting because they had this installation on the venue of Devconnect, also on the Crecimiento hub, and I'm sure that they will keep it around. That they did like a very good research there. Lots of important projects mentioned, and I think it was probably the first Ethereum project, right? One of the first Ethereum projects
Yeah, I mean,
to be on the
I
list.
I'm not. I don't think we were the first, but also it's also worth mentioning Argentina. So it's like only half of Kleros is Argentinian because the other half is French. Now it belongs to the world, but so yeah, there you go. The Centralized Justice, Kleros founder Federico Ast. So this is, I mean, really really great. It's I was super. I mean, like emotional because that was having a recognition by the industry peers, and it was a very nice also to see some of the early day adopters, early day founders, and the same Asado. So yeah, that's amazing. Honestly, I was really, really, really happy. Okay, so that was the first thing on the 14. Then on the 15, we had an event by SeedGov, which is a organization that specializes in governance for blockchains. And we had Alex, who gave a talk about a future key. I don't know if you want to tell a bit, Jean, about that, so I don't do all the talking myself.
Yes, it was like I believe the main governance event of Devconnect, and the Alex made a talk about the collaboration we are doing with FutureKey, the project called FutureKey, and he told a little bit how we are using it on the Kleros DAO, what was the experiment done on the Gnosis DAO as well, and other experiments. And one interesting thing is that we had at the time already a live proposal that was actually pretty important to us, and we'll be discussing this on next week because it's well, it's not only theory anymore; it's already being used. So there's also lots of interest from other DAOs on adopting Futurkey. So yeah, I think it will be pretty important to have that material once it is released. And well, one of the takeaways I think from the event is that they also want to make their processes more efficient and more automated. And Futurkey is one way of doing that because it basically put the market in charge of some of the decisions. So that was interesting too.
Yeah, and the Kleros DAO has some implementation about Futurkey regarding if token holders think that some proposal will, how they think it will impact the price. So that was a really nice conference done at the Universidad Católica in a very beautiful auditory. We had also like a booth there, and also like a great opportunity to meet some of the guys. So that was on Saturday, and people started arriving to Argentina. As you know, we are a team of many different countries, and so we had people coming from as far as Philippines and Singapore. We had people from Canada. We had people from France, Spain, Brazil. Well, all of the regions of the Kleros Republic. And so that Saturday we started having people. I also took people, give a little bit of a tour on Buenos Aires, so they got to see a bit of the history of the city and of Argentina. So that was also really, really cool. And then on the Sunday, we had the most important, I would say, the most important maybe event of the week, which was the Uniswap Cup. The Kleros, not Kleros, the ZK Sync team played with a few players lent by Kleros, and as you could imagine, the ZK Sync team got the Uniswap Cup, which was a really, that was one of the highlights of the, I guess, conference, right, Jin? I know if we have another of the team members that played on that game. Who is there on the?
Yeah, Marcos is here. Let me add him, but let me.
Oh, okay. Hello.
It was the highlight, not one of the highlights.
Yeah, I want to say that myself because you are biased. You were the players that won the tournament, but I was an spectator, and I want to say it was super. It was almost like a real game. I think there are probably most of the real soccer games are not that full of adrenaline and like critical moments. It was really
there was a lot of adrenaline.
Yes.
We almost lose the final, and so we won the. Do you remember, Marcos, what were the teams we played in each game? I don't remember that.
No.
I remember
there were 7 games, like 3 in the group stage, and then a round of 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, and final. So
I do know we played against 1 inch, maybe a quarterfinal. Then we played
in round of 16 was against Crecimiento.
That was a really hard game. That was a 1-0, or that was a really, really hard one.
Yes. And then
1 inch.
1 inch was in the group stage, right?
No, 1 inch was in the, I think, a quarterfinal when we were like 3-0. Winning, and then we almost they almost tied.
4-0. We were 4-0.
Yeah, 4-3.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So let's revive all of the.
Okay. Across in the final.
I do know the semifinal was against WorldCoin that we won by penalties. They had a really good, honestly, goalkeeper. So it was good goalkeeper. And then the final against Across.
The most important event of Devconnect for sure. Yeah.
And the final was epic. Also, I mean, I think we need to congratulate the Uniswap team because of for organizing such a great tournament. Everything was perfectly well organized. I mean, you arrived to the venue and they had like your T-shirts and they had like the socks and everything was very well done. And there is like food and there is the only thing to improve for next time is the refereeing maybe.
And the price. There was no price in this event. In other ones there were better prices, but besides that, it was awesome.
There was
a way of getting a prize in this one because you could put money on prediction markets on your own team, and you would won a prize.
Well, there's a lot of risk there.
Yeah, so not our way of making money, Gene, you know.
Exactly. No, but there was a rumor that the winners were going to the World Cup and that stuff, and no prizes.
The Crypto World Cup. Okay. So okay, well, thank you.
I can go with the video updates in general.
Wait, let me first thank a bit the people who are making comments. You know, thank you very much. Or to my fandom. I don't care being the best goalkeeper. I just want the team to win. So I was really happy about that. So yeah, you want to give some updates about the business development, Marcos?
Yes, updates about the last week.
So this is like the commercial, you know, part of. This is the commercials. You know, this is we do business development.
This is so we are still contacting the last Devconnect leads. Then we in my case and some other team members of Kleros applied for HCC talks that the HCC is going to be at the end of March, I think, next year, so pretty soon. And well, we are pushing our talks to be accepted by the AF. Then, well, we are having some meetings with profiles that applied for a position in Mexico in the BD team. As you know, there's a good context in Mexico to expand Kleros Enterprise. So we are looking for a new position. And well, today I was having some meetings and the other days of the week too. And then we had some interesting meetings with potential leads. Yesterday we had one with Federico. Today we have an Argentinian fintech. Another one with a marketplace that want the typical marketplace that want like to join freelancers with employers. And well, for the moment, not more than meetings. But if we have updates, we will be mentioning them here. Well, and those are the most important updates from the last week. A lot of leads from Devconnect. That's why we are still contacting them. But yes.
Yeah, and also lots of interest from enterprise customers. So one of the things that was clear for me during the conference is how much the Ethereum Foundation is like trying to address needs of companies, governments. So that was very clear. Also, I think it was great that they made the ticket price and the distribution wide enough for people to go, not having to pay like thousands of dollars for the tickets, which is what usually this conference cost. So I think this brought people from different backgrounds. They said there were like 15,000 people. So which I don't know if it's true, but it was like it was big. One of the days when I was doing my talk, I will speak a bit later about this, but was Vitalik speaking, then the chief of government, the mayor of Buenos Aires, and then I came with my panel. So it was like people were like everyone was there, everyone from like politics and from universities. I'm also going to mention a bit about that later. But okay, let's move to Monday. Monday, don't know if William is here today, but we had, of course. Well, William, you can tell us a bit about your experience at Devconnect and also your talk on AI that was Monday.
Yeah, Devconnect was great. It was always great to be in Argentina. It was a good event, had lots of good conversations. So I talked about AI and decentralized justice. Like AI is imposing itself as like a theme we all have to think about. And I shared some of our reflections on how AI can interact with a Kleros-like system, really laying out a vision where, like ideally, like the AIs are sort of players in a game, they compete against each other, how we can sort of make them aligned, their incentives aligned so that they're like pushed to agree with human participants, and how, that's like as an alternative to just having some kind of enshrined AI decision maker who always like gives you flat decisions, but like it's hard to displace, maybe kind of opaque, and there's not like a feedback mechanism to improve if they're doing a poor job, which is maybe a bit more dystopian. We also recently wrote an article about some of these topics that hopefully you'll all be able to read soon. And it's a emerging research space, so there's lots to continue to think about.
I mean, we have been doing lots of work about AI and Kleros, as William mentioned. So we have this article we just co-authored with, myself, William, and Rob, who is dispute resolution professional, who is also in the Kleros supervisory board. That we have an open call with Stanford Journal of Blockchain Law and Policy for people to do research about, Kleros, centralized justice, and AI. So it's a great opportunity to get published at a really, really good, maybe the best probably journal on law and blockchain. So we have this joint call for papers. If you want to apply, it closes in February, so you still have time, but start doing it. And also we do collaborations with the Center of AI at King's College London. So we have lots of different things regarding AI as part of the Kleros mechanism and how jurors will make decisions. So we have William's talk. Actually, the photos of your talk were great because with the that screen, that was a really awesome place to speak. Really, really good. The talk was awesome. Also, I already told you that it was really. Also, the flow was very good. I'm going to ask for you some of your slides for my own talks. And what do you think in general about the week, William, at Buenos Aires and the conference?
Yeah, it's good. These are always interesting discussions we have at these conferences. This was the first Devconnect I'd been to. I've been to the DevCons, but I hadn't been to any of the previous Devconnects. It was interesting to see sort of like the format with sort of mini conferences as part of a bigger conference. I appreciated the Spanish language content as someone who's enthusiastic about learning languages, and as a language nerd, I appreciate that, but also in terms of reaching out to the community, I liked your panel about the history of crypto in Argentina.
Yeah, I was saying before, that the fact that there is content in Spanish also opens a bit more the doors for people who are not the hardcore crypto people who just go around conferences in the world. We had people from non-crypto people who could go. My mom went to the conference, for example. So we got to onboard people because also the tickets were not very expensive, which was great. So yeah, I think it opened a bit the game for more people become interested in applications of blockchain besides the usual Web3 protocols, right? So we had a 17 on Monday. We had a talk by William. In the afternoon, we had the assembly of the cooperative. So as you know, Kleros is a cooperative, and then we hold once a year a meeting with the partners, who are most of them are the team members, and we discussed what happened during the past year, what's coming in the next one. So on the afternoon of the 17th, we had our annual general assembly with all of the members who were there because yeah, I mean, since we work remotely, we don't have that many opportunities to be in the same room. So that was on the 17th. And then
before
yeah.
we move to other day, we also had
Yeah.
on Sunday this event called Entity on Chain, where Facundo presented Kleros integration with Kleros Mendoza, and also some legal implications of using like dispute resolution on projects. And there were some other projects that we partner with, like Otoko. And so this one was mainly lawyers on Web3. So this was, I heard it was a good event also on this Sunday.
Yeah, and that, but and also one more thing I was forgetting to mention about Monday, which I mean, after Monday was the day after the Uniswap Cup. So I mean, it was hard to estimate. I mean, how much people were watching. You know, after the tournament on Monday, I arrived at the conference. You know, and the guy, you know, at the door, who's going to give me my badge, he tells me, you know, hey, good goalkeeper, I saw your game yesterday, so good job, man. And like, I mean, and I walked from the door to like our booth, and then I get, you know, people, you know, telling me, hey, Federico, good job. And I was like 20 people saying, congratulating us for the tournament. So that was really, really. I mean, imagine what it must feel like, you know, being a professional football player, you know, if it was like that for me, you know. And they say that the final was streamed and was watched by 5,000 people, right? It's a lot of people.
Yeah, and I want to say also, we didn't mention yet, but Federico won the MVP of the tournament, so that's one of the reasons why people.
I don't want to brag about that. No, look at that.
Yes,
this is
I know. And this is one of the last penalties. There was a couple of penalties that Federico saved. I think this is the last one, where the guy was intimidated and missed the penalty. So that's that's why this is the celebration. So yeah,
that was really epic.
This is one type of marketing that as we say, people you cannot buy this marketing.
Yeah, I don't know. Now everyone knows I am the goalkeeper of, you know, the team. I don't know if it's going to be good marketing for Kleros. Hopefully, I'm going to be bringing some integrations, you know, at least from sports, right? So
well, attention is important. So we got attention.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so Tuesday we had I had I mean, so that day my voice started to fade. I mean, I was like really starting to lose my voice after, because I think I was ill, and also all of the tournament and the goals and everything was super I mean, emotional. And so in the morning I was in a panel about Ethereum history in Argentina with a few OGs. It was Crypto Chica, it was Mariano Di Pietra, and Facu Spagnolo. Facu Spagnolo, by the way, was now he's working at DeFi now, but back in the day he was the manager or the developer of the Aragon Court. So it was fun to meet him and, you know, remember those old days. There are some memes from that time, and even a video which is very funny. So this is from that time. So we had a discussion about Ethereum, how we got into Ethereum, how we got into how we started our projects, how we and all of the evolution of what we saw in the ecosystem. And that day, before our talk, we had Vitalik gave his presentation, and then after Vitalik, there was the head of government of Buenos Aires, or the mayor. So it was like a really great place to have a panel, because it was like full of people. So that was in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I went to the Costanera to have like another panel about regulation organized by Cosmos. It was about, a bit speaking about the Mendoza pilot and how we are working in governments. There's a lot of interest about this. So I spoke there. And then that afternoon, we had, the team dividing between different places. So on one side, there was the event of the legal scholars, Ethereum legal scholars, that is for, well, as you can imagine, for lawyers. We sent Facu there to discuss there. Then there was another legal event at the law faculty of Buenos Aires. So of the University of Buenos Aires, with Primavera de Filippi, Gavin Wood, well, I got at some point I started receiving, messages from like WhatsApp and Telegram, telling me, "Oh, look, there is Kleros there." I think Primavera's presentation mentioned Kleros and put it on a slide, so we saw that as well. I started getting, receiving that. I would love to have to go there, but I was at another event. There was a dinner organized by Arbitrum, which is was done at the Palacio Duo, which is like a very posh place, a very cool, I don't know if 19th century, but like at least early 20th century little palace from Recoleta, and it was with maybe 20 or 30 people, more 20 than 30, which were of the founders of Arbitrum, and well, some really interesting discussions about how they envision the future of crypto in general, and the Arbitrum. As you know, we are very much in touch with Arbitrum ecosystem because we are deploying our version 2 of the Kleros Court on Arbitrum. So it was really good. Also very good to see how they are thinking about enterprise use cases and all of the real world applications of their layer 2. Anything to mention about the 18th of March, Jean? I don't know. Tuesday?
Let me show you the picture of the event because it's.
That is the Faculty of Law.
Yes, and you can see behind. Let's see, in this image, you can see behind Gavin Woods the Kleros logo. This is probably the same. I was not there, but I think it's probably the same talk that Primavera gave on the on its CC about autonomous organizations assisted by AI. So, it's and Kleros is like part of a way of probably evaluating what the AI is doing. So it's an interesting talk.
Yeah, we have this idea that we will do some data of putting, how to do AI alignment. So if you have an AI agent controlled by a DAO, so if the AI agent, misbehaves, like the DAO, which is like could be a Kleros court, decision-making process, can like disable the agent before it becomes malicious and kills humanity. So and we had this. The interesting thing is that the event was right in front of the plantoid. There is like the mother of all of the plantoids is like in Buenos Aires, right near the Faculty of Law. So it has this huge plantoid, and the Primavera talk at the Faculty of Law. So it was a really great thing. Speaking of, also before we were speaking about Arbitrum, on Wednesday we had the two cool things. We had the Arbiverse, which was the Arbitrum conference that was held at the venue in the lakes of Palermo. There we had a stand, a booth there. For some reason, we had a booth with like a red logo. I guess that was the left wing of the Kleros Republic that was represented. So we had that. I don't know, Jim, why we had a red logo.
Yeah, we will never know because I triple checked the assets and they were white, but there was some misprint. So it's a rare Kleros communist logo. We also had patches for the shirts, right? And they were red, but it was okay. Like the main thing is that people were at our booth, that we were showing the V2 that is now on beta on Arbitrum, and there were other applications that were built, other application builders on Arbitrum there, so they now know that they can use Kleros, that the interface is good, it works, and they can integrate. So it was pretty cool to have a spot. And I think after the Uniswap Cup, it was the second best event, but the best serious event that we had, the Arbiverse one.
Yeah, it was really well organized, and very good like level of people, of very good level of conversation. And on the afternoon, I went to Funding the Commons, which is a quite old organization already about how to do like public good funding with the different mechanisms. And that in that conference there was a talk by, I think, by Vitalik. I was there in the afternoon with Maria Fernanda Diaz, who is the judge with whom we are working at Mendoza on the use of Kleros for resolving neighborhood disputes, so as a tool of justice inclusion. So this raised lots of interest during the conference because it's like a real life application of blockchain with a partner, which is the government. So it's also cool. I could barely speak. I was my voice was almost gone by then, but I had at least Facu and Maria Fernanda who were speaking, and yeah. So that was also a very interesting panel with a very cool audience. These are usually events with a very high level people because this is very specific about governance and yeah.
Yeah, I think
okay.
This is also for people building on governance and funding. This is something that brings their attention. Like, how can a judge be interested in crypto on a crypto application? So I think this is probably one of the most important events that we participated on the conference.
Yeah. That was on Wednesday. Then on Thursday we had there was a organization of like universities explaining what are their programs teaching blockchain. So while I did my PhD at the Universidad Austral, the Universidad Austral also and also because of my experience working in this industry, they usually invite me to give talks and teach about blockchain. And so I have done a couple of Coursera courses about blockchain there. One about introduction to blockchain, another one about how to invest in crypto, another one about how to be a founder in like a Web3 startup, and another one about the legal issues, which is not only blockchain, but it's also AI, is targeted at lawyers. All of them combined had almost, I think, more than 100,000 students, which is like very big audience. And also, honestly, it's a really big inbound, leads for Kleros. Like lots of the integrations coming from the interest for integrations, especially from companies and government, come from someone who basically was onboarded to blockchain in one of my programs. So that was a really good. So I could really barely speak during that talk. I mean, it was a 25-minute talk about Kleros. And I mean, it was like a minute 2, and I said, okay, no, I'm not going to finish this. I mean, I'm just going to die. But I don't know, humans take energy from who knows where. So it went well. So yeah, it was great. And yeah, anything about this to comment, Jean?
No, just that these courses, I think maybe outside LATAM, they are not very well known, but I've met lots of people that said, I went into crypto because I listened to Federico courses, to Federico blockchain courses. Lots of lawyers say that, and they really had like an impact. So it was great to have this event. It was mostly people from universities, but they're the most valuable people to reach, I think.
Yeah, I sometimes think that most of the I don't know if it's most, but a big percentage of people like executives from companies, government officials, like NGO executives also got on board. And also a lot of students, entrepreneurs who started projects did it because of I was because of they took my course. So it was, to me it's great because having this possibility of influencing the careers of so many people, it's really really amazing. And right after the talk, we had another event at the venue of Universidad Australia in downtown, where we had a lunch with the people who are in charge of the Ethereum Foundation academic arm. So that is Theo Beutel, who is a guy from Switzerland. He's a student at University of Zurich, and he, well, the Ethereum Foundation is now trying, as we said many times, address a bit more like enterprise, governments, and also academia to foster like a research community. This is something that we have been doing for a long, long time. So we are in touch with them, trying to see how we can help the Ethereum Foundation try to have a more impact in academia, enterprise. And well, we are, for example, co-sponsors at the Blockchain Journal of Stanford Journal of Blockchain Law and Policy at Stanford. They have two sponsors. One is Ethereum Foundation. The other one is Kleros. So, and we had this lunch at the University of Australia to see how one can have a bigger, like a community of researchers about Ethereum, and well, for our interest, Kleros as well. So we had that, and on the evening we went to.
1 second.
Yeah.
Before Theo wrote a thread. I will send the link on the Telegram group.
Okay.
About lots of call for papers and programs that they have, and of course he includes the thread about the Stanford Symposium. So it's very nice to have this being shared.
Yeah, it's great
to his network.
That's a great, yeah. So yeah, we had it's a great guy to talk also because he's really really smart. Okay, and then on the evening, I don't know if William is still around. I mean, we went to see La Traviata, the Colón. As you know, Colón Theater is, I'd say, maybe one of the top theaters in the world, according to people who know about acoustics, the elegance of the place. It was built early 20th century when Argentina was an economic powerhouse. We went to see Verdi's La Traviata. Maybe not in the best seats, but yes, in those we could find. So yeah, I mean, I think the quality was great. Yeah, we were a bit, first standing and also a bit from the side, but I mean, it was really great. And then we went to see some tango as well, so they got to see a bit of the local culture. Okay, that is for Thursday. Friday, again to the conference, and I was already done with the talks and that. And in the evening, we did a really great asado at the Marcos house. We got to gather all of the team at the same place, and yeah. So Marcos' father is like a really good asado maker. And there was the Clement. I see the Clement talk on about proof of humanity and circular integration, right? That was on the 25.
Yes. So some of the events that Clement participated. First, there was this talk about the integration with circles. So it was on the circles booth. There was also a talk that Clement gave at the same stage that William did on the center of the conference. It was this is a thread actually by by Devansh, a person from the Ethereum Foundation that he's collaborating on this project called Need Funding. It's a very interesting project, very complex. It's about funding repositories on Ethereum with using both prediction markets and AI. And they did this experiment with, I think, maybe 50 repositories. So people had to, they had human jurors evaluating the weight that each repository had on the end result of on what they contribute to Ethereum. And they also had AIs predicting what the human jurors would vote. And then they had people evaluating which one were the best, more appropriate weighting. And most of the people voted that the AIs on the prediction markets did a better job. So it was a really motivating result for the experiment. So they are now doing like a second round. And this is, well, the message that this guy Devconnect, collaborating with Clement, made about the talk. And also Devconnect gave a talk on the Shelling Point event about the same experiment. So this is getting lots of attention. Even Vitalik made a post about this on Farcaster the other day. So it's a pretty cool thing that Clement shared. And also he participated on an event about blockchain oracles on a venue that is pretty interesting. They're called Connex. So usually they have well, drum events. It's like kind of a party on Mondays, and on I think Tuesday they had Clement talking about one of the most complex problems of blockchain, which is using subjective oracles. And he talked a bit about how important they are for prediction market disputes. And here we have an example, for example, the Zelensky suit case that was very controversial in Polymarket.
The Zelensky affair.
Yes, Zelensky gate. The suit gate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think these are the main things. I know that Clement joined a couple of small group talks, but these are the participations. And well, Seer had a booth on the event, and we were basically sharing the booth with Kleros and Proof of Humanity too. So it was interesting because people came to talk with Seer and also talked about Kleros. Let me see if I can find like a video of the booth. And we had lots of people coming to talk with us. This was pretty...
Honestly, this was, I mean, of the conferences, I remember this one, it was probably the one we had with more people at our booth. I don't know if it was because of the location or because people just, you know, are more interested or because of the football Uniswap Cup. I don't know. But, you know,
Really
there
a
was,
mix
there
of
was
everything.
all the time there was a line, you know, on the on the booth.
Kleros team had our...
Yeah, it was even a bit chaotic because we had like a line of people, and yeah, it was lots of people interested. Now know what about Kleros V2, about the Lemon, about the Mendoza integration. We'll probably see some people using the Kleros shirt in Buenos Aires.
I mean, Kleros stops all the penalties for your protocol. You know, that could be, you know, or all of the attacks. So yeah, it was really, really. I mean, I was honestly surprised how many people were. I mean, the line in the booth. So yeah. So okay, and then Friday we had the asado at Marcos Place. Oh, look at this great picture of the obelisk. And the last day on Saturday, 22, we had a little tour on the Boca neighborhood, so they could see a bit of the Caminito and all of the area of the immigration well, Argentina in the 1910s, 20s, and 30s, and and that was it. I mean, we're exhausted now, but happy because of all of the connections we made, all of the work we did, and all of the also pumps in the back we get about this about our work. So it was good to also to show it in what is home turf. It was us Argentina, which is one of the main, one of the places where Kleros was born back then in 2017. So here you have some of the team members. For me, it was an opportunity to also get to know team members who I didn't know in person. I mean, you can see Ning there. So yeah, and we are from
finally
different
met.
countries.
Finally met Ning after 4 years.
We finally met Ning after 4 years, maybe more than 4 years. I don't know, or no, 4 years, probably 4. Yeah, and well, it is the global business, so global communities, and so yeah. Okay, that was a week for us, quite intense. Then we have other little updates. One of them, not little, but updates in general. We are moving forward with the audits for Kleros 2.0. In particular, we are doing as you know, we are working with Certora in this process, and well, our auditors are reviewing the smart contracts. We are working on them, fixing them. That is one thing. Another thing is that tomorrow we will have so Kleros, as you know, has always invested a bit in education and forming people. And one of the guys who did his PhD with us, Jan, is defending his dissertation at the Paris University in Assas under the supervision of Bruno Defense tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central European time. So it's like for us the ending of like a long-term thing, because I remember when Jan started his PhD, and it looked like so far away in the future. Guy doing a PhD on centralized justice. He did research about the experiments, about mechanism and how people react to bribes and different things. So it's really, really important for me. And because it reflects something that started a long time ago, but now it's finishing. It's a long-term vision of things. At some point, long-term arrives. And he's not the first. I mean, this is a PhD student that we sponsored, and he also was part of the team. Also a good football player. But we had others, people who already did their PhD about topics related to Kleros, like, for example, Bianca Kremer, who did her PhD at the Universidad of St. Gallen, Switzerland. I think those I know, she was the first one to finish the PhD. I met her at the conference at the Max Planck Institute before COVID, and then Alessia Zuck, who did her PhD at the Universidad Pompeu Fabra in Spain. So we already have people doing, studies, teaching, and this is already becoming a community of a self-sustaining community. So yeah, tomorrow we have Jan hopefully successfully defending his PhD, and I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, anything else, Jean, we want to mention tonight?
I think these are the main things. We have, of course, renewed the Kleros Scout incentive program. So there's 300 KPNK pool for submissions, like the other months, and we, if I'm not mistaken, we had an increase in submissions, but we will soon post about this. We are also rethinking our marketing strategy, because now we have well, the Kleros enterprise cases that are bringing lots of attention and can bring lots of cases. So we had a meeting about this, also about producing more video content and higher quality video content. This will be one of our focus for the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I think these are the main things. I don't know if William have other updates to share about research. Let me add you very quickly, William. I know you're there, so if you had other updates.
Yeah, I mean, not that much more to add. I mean, we're busy with Devconnect last week, but you know, I'm continuing to think a lot of the same research themes. The you know, how AI interacts with decentralized justice. Also, you know, like trying to get back to some of the interesting social choice theory problems that I've been thinking about for years. It's like a very rich field. Jens' thesis is, you know, related to some of those problems. You know, like the basic question of how do you like aggregate votes together and, you know, a crowdsourced system like Kleros in ways that are like attack resistant and have all kinds of good properties. So, you know, expect me to write more and talk more about that in the future, but continuing the same sort of research that we've been working on.
What do you think, William? Our kid Jan is finishing his PhD, you know?
Yeah, you know,
they grow so fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a new generation of fellowship. Fellows,
we are interviewing a new generation. I think this is a 9th batch of Kleros fellows. This time, I think it was the time we had to just finish, you know, the application process as earliest, because we had lots of applications of people who are like doing lots of, I mean, great this quality research. I mean, just today I interviewed one from Singapore about, you know, how to implement the Kleros as mediation or arbitration process under Singapore law. Another one from Bolivia, actually doing similar type of research. Bolivia was a country that for a long time banned crypto, so had the, like, really low development of blockchain because of just legal reasons. Now there's a change in government, and this is changing. So this is becoming also like interesting. Then we had like different people doing from Brazil, from many different countries. So this is it's a global. Korea as well. Another one is from the US doing a proposal about how to use Kleros for like a verification of fake news. You know, so it's lots of really great things. So yeah. Okay, I think we have enough for today. Anything else, Jim, we want to mention, or that's it?
No, just that we will have Alex next week to talk about the latest proposals and the use of future key in the DAO. I think it will be interesting. And we also have Fortunato back to talk about the latest updates. We have State Curate almost being launched. We have the Kleros Scout V2 interface that is looking great. We had we actually displayed this on our booth on Devconnect, and people like it. So it's nice. So yeah, I think next week will be a very interesting call.
Guys, thank you very much. And see you then next Wednesday at 6 p.m. UTC in next community call. Have a good week, and yeah, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.